As long as we don't have the feedback.
Say that again?
As long as we don't have feedback.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I am excited to bring back the one, the only, my friend Adam Pickett.
Thank you.
So,
I need as many friends as I can get.
You know, during this phase, it's definitely true that but few people want to be your friend. But the second it starts snowballing...
You definitely have a lot more friends. Yes. I'm still in that wave of very few friends.
Nice.
But yeah, hopefully that'll be changing here pretty soon. Where, and then you have a lot more family too. It's not just friends. You have a lot more family that comes out of the woodwork.
So I know you're my third cousin removed, but I have a business idea. You want to invest in it?
Yeah. Exactly.
We actually have my buddy, his good buddy, owns he's a money manager, but his primary customers are NFL players. So he said anytime they go pro, he said it's just incredible how just people from all over the world will find them and ask for money. And he said, so what he does is to manage that, it's really awesome. The way he manages that is he tells his client, like, always send them to me. Always, always, always. Just say, yes, we'd love to look at it, send everything. I'll get you in touch with my manager. So then the manager says, okay, great idea. Just send me the full business plan with your projections and everything baked out. We'll take a look at it and we'll consider it. And then they never call him back.
Yeah. No, and that's you see a lot of those professional athletes. I mean, there's dozens upon dozens of stories of guys who made $100 million in their career, over $100 million, and they have virtually nothing because they have not divvied it out. And I wonder if people looked at it on the entrepreneurial side as well, as once people start hitting those. I'm sure there's some of those same types of stories because you go from nothing to a lot, and you do have a lot of people come out, and some people don't know how to manage that money properly, or are wanting to help out. Next thing you know, there's nothing left. So yeah.
From zero to a hero, and then from hero to zero.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of that, 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy. Have you heard?
No.
Now, he signed, I think it was, about 8 years ago? He's the one that did the vitamin water contract for like $100 million.
Yeah.
But he filed bankruptcy. But I also heard that he is going through a divorce, and so he's filing bankruptcy to show all his assets way less, so that way he can settle for half of what he would have to settle for.
Smart move.
So, it's like for bragging rights, it's like, what's the better bragging rights? Just telling all your friends that your rap career's over and you filed bankruptcy, or saying that you outmaneuvered an ex-wife. So
yeah.
So we'll see who wins with that. So the last time we talked, you shared with us some incredible insights. One of the themes that people resonated with well, and I still tell the story, and that's just the learning the power of the pitch and then refining that pitch over time. But we're going to start getting together maybe once a month, every other month, and just hearing from you updates. So my first question is, how are you physically?
Physically? Oh, geez. I'm in, I've had about a headache for the last 24 hours. I just got off a phone call with my brother who said he's had a headache for 6 months. So, physically, I'm okay. I'm good. It's a roller coaster being an entrepreneur, and we're in one of those critical moments right now, and it's fun and it's exciting, but it's definitely mentally draining at times. So.
Well, that was going to be my next question. So that's physically. How are you mentally?
Mentally, you know what? I'm pretty good. I'm not bad. Everyone asks me, do you sleep? I sleep really, really well. It's when I'm awake is when there's the issues. But no, it's good. It's a roller coaster. So that was a political answer for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Great. I'm perfect.
If you panned out, you would see 10 bottles of liquor and I don't have any pants on, but everything is totally fine.
Wait, my mental state has nothing to do with me wearing pants.
Okay, that's true.
Just to be clear.
Well, that's what we want to make sure for anyone who is around or invests in or appreciates or mentors. You hear stories of, I think it was the guy of the No Hungry Children, big nonprofit they raised. No, it's not. It wasn't that one. Forgive me. I need to get my facts right. Anyway, one nonprofit, they raised like $100 million, and then the guy was found like streaking downtown because literally he just like had a mental break,
Yeah.
And so we all need to ensure that we're taking care of each other.
Well, and I know you are. We'll make a plug here. I know you're involved with Founders Harbor.
Yep.
And Founders Harbor I like to call it as group therapy for founders and for entrepreneurs. And I think it's a critical piece that isn't talked about enough in the entrepreneurial world is the mental state of things, because it is extremely critical piece of it, because you do go through and you experience so many different things. Having a good mental foundation and sharing those things with others is critical, because although you feel like you're on an island and you're the only one going through it, so many other people have. And I just read a story last month in Entrepreneurial Magazine about a guy that had raised the same thing, like $15 or $20 million, and he ended up committing suicide because of the way things went. So it's a roller coaster, and it's tough. So that mental side of it can be really tough as well.
Yeah, it's tragic.
Yeah.
So physically, you're good. Mentally, you're good, right? We know what good means. Good means we'll make it. That's what good means.
Fuck yeah, we will.
Yeah. So how's the business, man? I'd love to hear top of mind, what obstacle, what challenge are you facing today?
Boy, our obstacle today is we're now starting to try to sell the product, and really sell the product on the B2B side. So I'm gonna I'll back up and just kind of give you the where we've been over the last couple months real quick, and I think that leads into where we're going right now. Is back in mid-June, so after we talked last, we've had our beta release of the product, which was our vehicles and our health pillar, our vehicles and our homes pillars. We pushed out then our health pillar the first part of July. We did a 2-week marketing push, and we had 1,200 users sign up.
Wow!
In 2 weeks. But what we realized in that time frame is we weren't getting a whole lot of engagement after they signed up. And we realized we created the product with content inside of it, and when people go into the product, they're like, oh my gosh, what do I do next? Yeah. So we went, and the team did a phenomenal job, a sprint of really adding that new user experience. So now when you log into the product, and we started doing some user testing as well, where we bring in people in front of us. We did one yesterday in front of the whole team, where we just bring them in, we shut up, we put it up on the big screen, and they go through the product, and we see where they have success and where they struggle. And it's been extremely eye-opening for us. So they created it's so easy now. It's such a simple process to add a home, to add a vehicle, to add a person or an entity in your health section. The next step for us is that layer deeper, where when you get into the health section, okay, where am I supposed to add my driver's license? Where am I supposed to add these other things? So that's the next step the team's tackling from the development side, is making it even easier, deeper into the product. And that's going to be the next focus over the next month or two from the development team perspective. On the B2B side, so we're still going to be starting to put in users on the consumer side. And we've got our blogger program that's going to be starting this next week or over the next 2 weeks. Nice. On the B2B side, though, we've created over the last couple of weeks a portal. And where if let's say you own an insurance agency, we give you access to that portal, and you can start creating accounts for your clients. And you preload that information inside there, so their insurance information, whatever, then you turn that over to your client so they can have access to it. You can keep it updated, that kind of stuff. We're also working on integrating in an insurance software called QQ Catalyst, so that if you have 2,000 clients and you use QQ Catalyst, with one click of the button, it'll create 2,000 My One Resource accounts and automatically pull in all your insurance information.
Wow.
So we're starting to go out and sell that B2B portal to different. There's really 3 categories for it starting out: insurance agents, realtors or title insurance companies, and then car dealerships. Those are the 3 for us starting out. They're going to be focusing on. What's also exciting though is yesterday or on Monday we signed a contract, our first contract, with a national insurance association marketing group.
Nice.
So they're going to start marketing the product out to different associations where My One Resource would be added to their list of benefits. And obviously we're selling it at a discounted rate, but it's a huge opportunity for us. They could potentially start adding, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 new users a month. That would be paying users. So we've got a lot of things moving. We're moving definitely in the right direction with a lot of things.
So you have, I've seen this, right? There's so many things before you, and different personalities handle that in different ways, right? So I've seen people, if you're an activator, like you can get lost in doing so many things you're not even sure what's effective. And then if you're the other side, you just get paralyzed by all of the things you could do that you just kind of sit there and you're like, I'm not sure, right? And you take a nap. Yeah. So, how have you navigated through both sides? I mean, from your personality, I can sense you're definitely an activator. So how do you know, there's probably 1,000 people you could talk to. Are you just talking to anyone that will breathe? What's your strategy in making sure you're in the right room to secure some of these? Because it sounds like connecting with a brand that's going to send you 5,000 users, that's the win.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? How are you doing that?
It's a couple of things. First of all, what was the other one besides activator? Was
the other side, which is so paralyzed you don't even know what to do.
I curl up into a ball and just suck my thumb when that happens to me on the paralyzers. No, I'm just kidding. On the activator side, I think it's 2 parts. So there's the product development side of that, and there's the selling side. And on the product development side, that's something I struggle with, is you don't want to spread yourself too thin. We want to stay focused on one thing. And that's why when we say we're doing this B2B side, it really isn't a different product extension. It's the same product. It's just creating a portal to bring people in. So one, we've tried to stay focused and tried to stay narrow on where we're headed, so we don't spread ourselves too thin on that development side. On the B2B side, it's kind of the same thing. We're starting, you could say, a little bit shotgun approach with insurance dealerships and realtors, but those are the 3, because there's more than just that, but those are the 3 that we've seen that have probably the easiest potential. And whichever one of those 3 kind of bubbles up and we see the path of least resistance, we'll start focusing on those even more, or that one specific even more. But right now, it's all about those personal connections and personal relationships. And how do you get people that you know? I mean, we can start, we just talked about our B2B approach on a call before this, and we're looking at, do we do a cold list of all these? We've got access, or we've got ability to access all the emails for all the insurance agents in the state of Florida. Yeah. We can send out a cold email to all of them, but that's going to yield less results than if we get personal connections to people. So it's all about those personal connections right now, and then that will eventually start to build. When you look at the Insurance Association, that came up. So on March 5th, we pitched at Pitch 6 event. It was here in Orlando. It was Bright House Networks put it on. Kevin Harrington was one of the judges who was on the first couple of seasons of Shark Tank. So after that event, Kevin says, hey, you need to meet Guy. And Guy, who has this insurance association marketing firm, we just hit it off that night, just talking. And he saw it right away. He goes, this is a product we can add into what we're selling to these associations. Wow. And so, it took 5 months to kind of work everything out and for us to get to know each other. But again, it was that personal connection. where he saw us at an event and understood it and grasped it. So again, it just comes down to leveraging all those personal connections and trying to do whatever we can with it.
So once you raised money, you didn't stop pitching?
No, and I'm heading up to Ocala tomorrow for an investor call. I've got an investor call in 5 or 10 minutes with another person. So we're really starting to ramp up those investor efforts again. Now that we've got the product, we're marketing the product, and we're starting to sell the product on the B2B side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest, and it sounds like challenge, but definitely opportunity. And that's just relentlessly pursuing the network and the relationships that open up and see what the value exchange is and just pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
So what else, man? Is there anything else? We've got a few minutes left. Is there anything else that's top of mind that, in this stage, you're past the first proof of product. You've got people using it. You're learning from them and you're tweaking it. With that synergy and that excitement, you're raising more capital. You're developing more relationships. But what else, man? What's the big struggle right now?
I think the struggle for any company where we're at right now is time, money, and resources.
Yeah.
We need definitely more time. We need more resources, and we absolutely need more money. So it's trying to get more and more of those going. We have an amazing team, and we actually lost one of our developers left us a few weeks ago, I guess it was. And, she came to me and said, listen, I've got an opportunity to go somewhere else. And, we all were extremely excited for her because it was a good opportunity for her. It was something she was kind of looking for. And, every single person that's joined our team, I said, listen, at one point in time, you're going to either outgrow us or you're going to need more than what we can provide you. So she left. She had an opportunity. She took it, and we're excited for her. We're still, I was texting her after her first day. How did your first day go? All that kind of stuff. So we look at that as we have another advocate that's now somewhere else in the community for My Own Resource. But again, it's someone that we lost. And so right now we're not bringing someone else on board. So it's kind of spreading out. Okay, how can the rest of the team kind of pick up what she was doing? And not lose a beat with things. So it's time and resources right now.
Yeah, that's huge. It's a good principle too, because I remember when we suffered our first big loss from an employee standpoint, and looking back, it's funny, you have the excitement for them, right? But also it's like, oh, why don't you want to be at my party? Why'd you pick their party over ours?
And you can, and especially in where we're at right now, you can take one or two. I came from Disney where it was encouraged to go and interview in different areas within the company. And when someone would take a job outside the company, everyone is extremely happy for that person. Awesome. So I've seen other organizations our size or even a little bit bigger than where we're at right now that are just adamant about if you leave, like, you're dead to us. And
that's so ridiculous.
Or you can't do any work on the side at all. I encourage everyone to work on the side because it allows you to be more creative. It lets you to think differently. All that kind of stuff. So there's just to me, I just don't prescribe to that kind of thinking. I'm excited for someone who moves on, and it sucks for us. But it's a good opportunity for someone else, and our paths may cross again later on. So.
Yeah, and I love that. Like you said, it's another advocate in the space.
Absolutely.
And it's definitely an old mentality. This protect and no one can do anything. And I'm glad that few people still, but I'm glad people are just because someone said you can't trust someone that doesn't have one foot out the door. If someone's whole life is dependent on a company that I own, that makes me more nervous.
Yep.
Because if you hire a talent, they can work anywhere.
Yep.
But they choose to work with you, and that's a different team set.
Absolutely.
All right, man. So we're gonna touch base here in a month and see where you're at, and definitely the theme of biggest obstacle, biggest opportunities. I'd love to pick 3 or 4 numbers. Think about this, and you think about it and tell me which ones. But I'd love to, what are the big numbers that everyone wants to hear about? Stupid startups. I mean, I get it. It's not the numbers, but it would be fun to see. Like at this stage, we've raised this much capital. We've got this many strategic partners, and we've got this many users. It would be cool to see that every month, just ebb and flow. That would be neat to show.
Okay. Christina, who's with me, who's sitting right here next to me. We need to have more users by next time we talk. So we'll get it going. But no, yeah, absolutely. We'll track the progress and see where things go. So this is fun, man. I'm excited.
Me too.
Awesome, dude. Good talking to you.
Yeah, and I'll be in town next week and 2 weeks in September, so we'll schedule a time to do our.
We'll do the Disney stuff.
Yes.
Awesome, dude.
All right. Keep
Later,
killing it.
Man. See you, bud.
See ya.